right, gang, I think it's time to start the show. How's everybody feeling tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, welcome to Open Mic Night at Bar K. How's everybody doing tonight? I, once again, am your host, Andrew Ingram. Give it up for me. Behind the bar tonight, we got Jeremiah. Give it up for Jeremiah. Are we going to tip Jeremiah well tonight, or are we going to tip him like shit? Well, good. You passed the test. All right, we're going to have food from Stevie. Give it up from Stevie, everybody. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get real. Let's get real. My parents have too many freezers in their house. They have reached that point of white, middle-aged person where there are more freezers in the house than human beings. They must be stopped. And they're packed full of shit. I don't know what any of it is. It's all been taken out of the packaging because they couldn't fit it all in there. So now, I'm pulling stuff out. I'm like, is it fish sticks? Is it mozzarella sticks? Let's throw it in the deep fryer, find out. Holy shit, it's French toast sticks. Grab the syrup.
Sounds exactly like my grandparents.
Farrell, I hate to break it to you, buddy. It's probably you at this point.
I lived in an apartment. I couldn't afford more than a freezer.
He's just got mini freezers lining a whole wall. Don't lie to us. And they're all full of appletini mix. I don't know why I said that. Boom, roasted, appletini. My parents are very religious. They're so religious they named me after the Apostle Andrew. That is a lot of pressure to put on a kid. I wanted to do good. I wanted to be a good son, a good citizen. So I read the book. So I find out about this guy, and it turns out not a lot of screen time. The Apostle Andrew. Not even in the first half at all. Barely makes a cameo in the second half. We only know a few things about him. If you're a big Bible nerd, you might know that Andrew was the brother of Peter, who was the Wayne Gretzky of apostles, right? Captain of the team, best who ever did it, Peter. It's kind of like my parents had me, saw me, and thought, man, he's special. We'd probably do better. The only other thing you might know about Andrew, if you've read the book, is that he was the very first apostle. He was the first of the 12, all right? He went to one of Jesus' first TED Talks. Thought, bro, this guy's the truth, all right? I gotta follow him around. He went up to Jesus after the show. He's like, Jesus, man, I want to follow you around. She's like, okay. He's like, I will work the merch booth. I'll work lights. I'll learn sound. I'll do whatever you need. Just let me be a part of your crew. She's like, I like the energy. Let's focus that on maybe expansion. Why don't you go find me some other people to hang out with? And so, as with any multi-level marketing scheme, Andrew first focused on his family. He went home. He saw his brother Peter, and he's like, bro, I just saw this guy at a show. His name was Jesus. He says I can work for him, but you got to come to the next gig. You got it? And Peter's like, all right, man, you need this clearly. Let's go to his next show. And Peter comes out to Jesus' next gig. It's even bigger than the last. And their eyes lock from across the room. And then it's just Peter and Jesus. Jesus and Peter for 4 fucking gospels. It's like when there's a girl you're into, but you don't have the balls to ask her out. So instead, you like invite her to a group meetup with friends. It's like, we're all gonna go to the bar, open mic night. It's gonna be a great time. We're all gonna have fun. And then she locks eyes with your brother Peter. And it's just Peter and Jesus and Peter for 4 fucking gospels. My parents were so fucking religious, they moved us to another country about it. That's right. My parents were Christian missionaries. They moved us to Quito, Ecuador. Ecuador, if you are unfamiliar, is in South America. Ecuador means equator. It's on the equator. It's easy to remember. It's the home of the Galapagos Islands and those weird fucking blue-footed birds and the tortoises. It's where the theory of evolution was first hatched in the mind of one of our greatest thinkers. And it's a weird fucking place to go tell people about Jesus, considering it is a Catholic country. It's like, we got there day one, we're like, have you heard about the Lord Jesus Christ? And they're like, yeah, he's hanging over there. He's hanging over there. My kid's named after him. Ecuador was a really cool place to grow up. I'm very grateful I had that experience, that I learned in depth about another culture and got to live among people who were different than myself. That being said, there's a lot of problems with white people going to other countries and living like fucking kings, right? Like, we had a 6-bedroom house in Ecuador. It was nice. And as we deserved, I got robbed a fucking lot. I got robbed so much, you guys. It got normalized. I just started calling it a colonizer tax. I deserved it. I mean, it got the first time it happened, it was so scary. My little brother was involved, and but after that, it just kind of became normalized. Eventually it got to the point where somebody would put a knife in my face. I just open my wallet and give them a $5 and say, I need the rest for the bus. And they'd be, oh, that's fine. And, your accent's not shitty enough to be a tourist. But it was humiliating. Like, it's as like a dude, you want to be tough. You want to hold your own. And that's just not a position that I was in at the time. I had friends who fought back, and they got cut. Because you don't do that. It's, $20 isn't worth your life. However, my pride might be. Because one time, this is the last time, by the way, I ever got robbed. I was a senior in high school. I was 17 years old. I'm walking down the street. I clocked these guys. If you've lived in the big city, you know how to keep your head on a swivel. I clocked these guys. They're sitting on a stoop. They're eating popsicles. Not a threat. Traditionally, not a threat. And so I give them the nod, and I keep walking. Except one of the guys gets up, and he steps on my foot, and he pulls out a knife. And he says, "Give me your money." All while holding the popsicle in his other hand. Do you know how humiliating that is to a 17-year-old boy who's never even been laid? So I elbowed him in the face and I ran away. Ran like a little bitch to my school, and I'm not sorry about that. I deserve the colonizer tax, but not that way. I don't want to harp on this too much, but Americans don't know how to protest. I gotta tell you guys, I haven't seen a single goddamn burning tire in this city. You fucking cowards. All right, you understand, they raised the bus fare by like 30 cents, and the city went to war in Ecuador. All right, nobody went to work for 2 months. All right, they overthrew the government twice while I lived there, and nobody died. It was awesome. No, protests are great. One time, they were trying to overthrow the government, and I had gone to the beach with my cousins, and then revolution. And then we just got to stay at the beach for 2 weeks because we couldn't get back to the city. Oh, no. I've been a lifelong fan of social revolution ever since. Nah, man. Look, here's how it would go down, because they did this twice, and it happened the same way both times when I was growing up in Ecuador. The president would do something like, hey, there are now 10 more people on the Supreme Court, and they're all family members, or whatever. And the people would go, hey, that's bad, we're gonna start rioting. And then they'd start throwing shit at cops, and the cops would throw tear gas at them, and then nothing would burn down because everything's made of concrete. And we were at 9,000 feet, so, it's hard to start a fire. And we'd get held home from school on a Friday. Saturday, violent revolution. The president would eventually tell the army, hey, go shoot the crowds. And the army would be like, hey, man, my grandma's in that crowd. I ain't shooting shit. And then the president would fuck off to Miami. And I think we can agree Miami is worse than prison. Yeah, and this would take 3 days. Friday, held home from school. Saturday, violent revolution. Sunday, we rest, the Lord's Day. And on Monday, I'd be back in school. All right, I'm going to end this little bit on growing up in South America with just a little bit of a taste of how kind of oblivious we as Americans can be. Because we have a very large nation. There are a lot of places to visit in the States. We all speak the same language. It's not hard to get around. There's not a lot of reasons for us to get out and go see the rest of the world. So we have some pretty dumb preconceptions of what the rest of the world is like. For instance, about a month after 9/11, I had a friend email me to tell me that 9/11 happened. And so this is the email I wrote him back. 10/25/2001. Dear, name redacted. Thanks for letting me know about 9/11 happening. Sounds awful. We only just heard about it yesterday. It's crazy living here in Ecuador. Email is complicated. Just in case you were curious about how it works over here, I thought I'd explain it. First, I have to handwrite a letter, as typewriters and computers are seen as dark magic here. Once I've finished, I put it in an envelope and hand it off to the village post monkey, Eduardo, who carries the mail across the jungle by swinging on vines like Tarzan. When he gets to the mountains, he passes the letter off to a pigeon. I don't know the pigeon's name. The pigeon flies my letter down to the coast, where it is placed on a barge, which I can only assume is covered in pigeon poop. The barge then travels all the way up the Pacific coast, traversing the Panama Canal, and after a couple weeks, finally makes it to Miami, where a very nice young lady named Marta types it up and sends it via electronic mail straight to your computer. Anyway, thanks for your email. It was covered in pigeon poop when it got here. I hope everyone in Indiana is safe. Were you able to see the smoke from your cornfield? Your brother in Christ, Andrew. P.S. We have TVs here, dumbass. All right. Hey, that's been my time. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for your kind attention.